Hello and welcome back to another video. This one is going to be about some portraits that I took with the Fujifilm GFX 50s and the Mitakon 65mm 1.4. If you have watched my Learning Large Format series, then you may know that I have a university project that has 5 separate parts that each have a different theme. And one of those parts is community, and I did have a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do, but then around a week ago I got really bored of that idea. So with about a month left until my deadline, I decided to switch my project to something that I've been wanting to do for the past few months. I got this idea from Brian Burks in his Articles of Virtue project, where he takes large format photos of people and their classic cars. And his videos are great, but his photos are even better. I thought it would be really cool to do something like this myself, but I'm not really into classic cars or cars in general, but I do really like JDM cars. Don't get me wrong, I can admire a classic car, but I'm not really that into them. I'm much more interested in JDM cars. And here in Cornwall, there is quite a big community of JDM car owners, including my brother. So that is why I decided to switch to this idea for my community part of my portfolio. It's much more fun to shoot, and in my opinion, it is a lot stronger in the community department. So knowing my brother has 2 very nice JDM cars, I contacted him to arrange a shoot. He has an imported manual Nissan Stagea RS4-S and an imported Nissan Cedric Y34. He also has a Honda Civic Aerodeck, but it's just not in a good state, it's in a field rotting away. So me and Jen headed over to my brother's to capture some photos. He asked what photos I was thinking of, and my original idea was to have the Stagea and the Cedric side by side. But after very unsuccessfully jump starting his girlfriend's car, which has been sat there for ages, we decided to go with a different plan. We decided to get the Stagea and the Cedric to lead your eyes into the middle of the frame where my brother was going to stand. My brother got the cars in position and we took some photos. I got some of him with both of the cars in frame, and while they are okay, they're not my favourite. But then I got some of him with each car on their own, and I love these. My favourite photo of the day is probably this one where he is sitting on the Nissan Cedric. Using the GFX and the Mitakon was definitely the right option for this. When you shoot the Mitakon wide open, it is so similar to the Pentax 67 and the 105 2.4. After I got on some portraits I was happy with, I began taking some detail shots of both cars. Both cars have Japanese writing on them, which I wanted to photograph, and on the inside of the Nissan Cedric's door, there is a sticker that translates to Yakuza. My brother didn't put it there, and it was really funny when we found out what it said. In fact, I may actually have the video to put it in here, since I did record it when we found out. So my brother bought this car from Japan, Japanese import. You know, a bunch of Japanese writing there, and there's these things on the door, and I said, what if, I said jokingly, what if it said Yakuza? And it says Yakuza. So yeah, I definitely wanted to get a shot of that. The Cedric also has some cracks and scrapes which my brother put some plaster stickers over, so I definitely wanted to get photos of those. It also has the Nismo badge on it, so I wanted to get a photo of that. At this point I was done taking photos of the Cedric, so I moved over to the Stagea. It's actually really sad to see the Stagea in a lot worse condition than it used to be. The insurance of the car has quadrupled in price over the last year, so it's just been sat there in my brother's driveway, not getting any love, which it definitely deserves since it's such a nice car. I remember when he got it, I was just completely in love straight away, and at that point I just did not care about cars at all, but that was the one car that I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I'm not super knowledgeable on cars, but from what my brother said, it seems that the Nissan Stagea is pretty much just a Nissan Skyline, but an estate version. And my brother said that in America there is this 25-year rule where cars over 25 years old can't be imported into the US anymore, so the price of like the Skyline and the Stagea has just skyrocketed, so that's why the insurance is so much, and that's why the car is now worth quite a bit more. Anyway, I started to get some detail shots of the Stagea, including one of the unicorn stickers. I also got the Japanese writing on the engine, the wooden steering wheel, the Stagea badge, and also the Nismo sticker. At this point, I had gotten all the detail shots that I could think of. Although, I now really wish I got the shot of the unicorn badge on the front of the Stagea, as that would have been such a cool photo. I don't know why I didn't think of it. So now that I got some portraits of my brother with his cars and some detail shots of the cars themselves, I thought that it would be a good idea to get some close-up portraits of my brother. I got him to lean on the Cedric and I snapped 2 portraits of him. I like both of them, but I prefer the one that's a bit closer up, since I did go at a bit of a different angle and the focus drop off is better. And then after having a short chat with my brother and his girlfriend, me and Jen headed home. So that's the end of the shoot. I'm really happy with these images that I've got, and I think it's pretty obvious that I was inspired by Brian Burks to create these. I have around a month left to get more photos like these, and I do have a few people in mind that I want to get photos of. One of these people has a 1992 Toyota Corolla Estate, which I think is pretty cool. It's not very like modified or anything, but it's just like a nice car. My brother said he'd also contact some of his mates for me, since a lot of them do have some very nice JDM cars. One of which has an R34 Nissan Skyline, so I'm really hoping that I can photograph them in their car. Like I said before, I'm not that into cars, but an R34 Nissan Skyline has always been a car that I have admired ever since I was little. I think it is because of like when me and my brother were younger, he'd be sat there playing Need for Speed Underground 2, which is just the best game ever, by the way. So that's the end of this video. I may have another GFX and Mitakon video out next week, or I may have a Harm and Phoenix one, but it just depends if I shoot that first. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Don't forget to check out my learning large format playlist, and don't forget to check out my last video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.